I'm going to be listing the documentation required for 3 categories of visa, okay? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel today. My name is Aina. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to apply for your education visa to Thailand. Did you just get admission into one of the Thai schools and you're wondering, how do I go about applying for my visa? Regardless of where you are, regardless of the country you are in, this video is going to be very helpful to you, so keep watching. So there are 2 ways of applying for the Thai visa. Either you apply for the visa online or you apply in person at the closest embassy to where you are. Kindly check the website on the screen to find out if you are eligible for the e-visa, which is online. And if you are not, I will be sharing useful information in this video on how you can go ahead applying for your Thai education visa in person. Number 1, the first thing you need is an admission letter, okay? If you have been admitted by a university in Thailand, then they would offer you an admission letter, okay? This letter is going to be your number 1 reason for traveling to Thailand if you are going for education. Now, after you have been able to get your admission letter, you want to simply send an email to the embassy of Thailand in the country where you are, or the closest country to where you are. If you're in Nigeria, this is the official email address that you need to send an email to. Okay, you simply need to send an email to the consular informing them about your intention to apply for the education visa, and when you do that, they will respond to you with the requirements. It's important to make sure that you send this mail to them and not just hold on to any random information that you find on the internet. When you send this email to them, they will respond to you, sending you documentation that carries the list of all the requirements, okay, for your application. And when they reply to you, what you want to do is take that list and go ahead and start processing all the documents that have been required. I would advise that you send this email at least 2 months prior to your travel, because there are some documentations on this list that is likely to take up to a month or even more to actually get, especially if you're coming from Nigeria. Now, if you're coming from Nigeria, there are 2 documentations that are very key to your ED visa application to Thailand. Number 1 is the NDLEA clearance, and number 2 is the police character certificate. These 2 documents are very important because without these documents, they would not even give you an appointment date. So you want to simply get all these documents on the list. Remember, you sent an email to the embassy first, then they respond to you with the documentation that is required. What you simply want to do next is to get all these documents, scan them, attach them to a zip folder on your computer, and mail them back to the embassy. So what they do is they check your documents, and if they are comfortable with what you have sent, they send you an appointment date. It is very important that you have these documents before you respond to them. And the most important documents, like I mentioned, is the NDLEA and the police certificate, character certificate, okay? So after you've gotten these documents and you have mailed it to the embassy, they will definitely respond to you with the closest available interview date. Now, what are these documents that you're likely to be asked to bring? I'm going to give you a list of all of them. So guys, here are the list of requirements for the Thai visa. I'm going to be listing the documentation required for 3 categories of visa, okay? Then I will elaborate more on education visa. When you send an email to the embassy, they usually would respond to you with the requirements for basically all the categories of visa. So I'm going to be looking down at my screen here. So in case you see me looking down, you know that I'm trying to get the accurate information, okay? So there's a table in front of me, and this table has about 5 columns, okay? The first one is specifically for student visa, which is the Thai ED visa. It's also called non-ED visa. We have the spouse or family of a Thai person. If you are the family of a Thai person, then this is the category that concerns you. Then we have the work category, we have the tourist category, we have the business visit category, okay? So number 1, here are the basic requirements, meaning that if you're going to be applying for any of these visas, these are the basic requirements that are required of everyone before we go into the specific requirements for each of the categories. Number 1 is the passport, okay? You want to have your passport copy, that is your international passport. It's very important, and it has to have at least a year validity on your passport just to be safe, okay? If you're someone going to school and your studies are going to last up to 2 years, then it only makes sense that your passport should have validity of over 2 years so that you don't start running around to get a renewal when you're in another country. The second requirement is your bank statement. In your bank statement, you're required to have a minimum amount of cash of 40,000 baht or equivalent, that is depending on the currency that you use, okay, throughout the past 6 months. So usually they require a 6-month bank statement that has a closing balance of 40,000 baht. In Naira, 40,000 baht is around 1.7 million, okay, and in USD, it's around 1,100 to 1,150 USD, depending on the exchange rate at the time of your conversion. So simply convert 40,000 baht to your current exchange rate at the time of your watching this video, okay? The third requirement is your employment certificate. The fourth here we have confirmed flight reservation. Then we have police report. Police report is general. Then NDLEA clearance for Nigerian passport holders, okay? So if you're a Nigerian and you hold a Nigerian passport, that is a Nigerian international passport, you will be required to present the NDLEA clearance. This is the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and they are responsible for regulating the inflow and outflow of illicit drugs into the country, okay? For short, just say they are the police for drugs. So it's important to have a clearance from NDLEA before you proceed to applying for your Thai visa, regardless of the category. Now, if you're looking to apply for the Thai tourist visa, which usually lasts for, I think, 3 months, I would leave the website of the Thai embassy so you can click on it to get more valuable, useful information and more timely and accurate information, to be honest, because information changes daily, and as at the time of my shooting this video, the information might have changed compared to when you're actually watching it. So the first requirement specifically for tourist visa is a detailed travel itinerary, okay? You want to make sure that you have created an itinerary of all the activities you're going to be going to Thailand to do. If you're going to be going to Chiang Mai, if you're going to be visiting the temples or going to the beach in Phuket, you want to make sure that you have an itinerary, okay? This convinces the Consular General of your intentions to actually go as a tourist, okay? Because if you're going as a tourist, then it is expected that you have a plan, you know what you're going there to do, and you have probably already budgeted for this. So it's important that you have a travel itinerary. Along with this itinerary, you need to have proof of payment for all the places you're going to be staying and all the activities that you're going to be doing for the ones you need to book in advance. For instance, if you're going to be lodging in an Airbnb, it will help if you actually make an upfront payment to the owner, okay, and then attach the receipt of payment to your visa application along with other payments that you may have made for your journey. You also need to attach a paid return ticket, okay? You also need to attach a paid return ticket. It's just a 3-month visa. So you need to prove to the consular that you actually have plans to return by presenting a paid return ticket. Mind you, with a tourist visa, you are not allowed to work. On your visa, you would usually see not allowed to work or something in the lines of working with this visa is prohibited. So just bear in mind you are not allowed to work with a tourist visa. Next is the work permit. The first requirement for work permit visa is a copy of your work permit or permission to actually work in the country. This is usually given by the Ministry of Labor. Okay, so if you have been employed, then your employer will provide you with all of these documents, I believe so. So you have nothing to worry about. Then you need to also attach the employer's letter of certification, okay, and then employer's registration letter as well as the work contract. Then if you intend to travel with a business visa, you need number 1, invitation letter from the Thai company. You need registration of the inviting business with registered capital of no less than 2 million baht recently dated. You need an employment certificate. You need bank statement with minimum cash of about 500,000 baht or equivalent throughout the past 6 months. I believe this business visa is for people like foreigners who intend to come to Thailand to do business. Bear in mind that you're not expected to dump this lump sum of money in your account. This is not restricted to just the business visa. For any visa you want to apply for, regardless of country, regardless of the kind of visa, it's important that you do not just take a lump sum and dump it in your account with the hopes that some miracle is going to happen. You are likely to be denied. The fourth category we have here is the spouse or family of a Thai visa category. So the requirement for this category is number 1, you need an invitation letter from your spouse or your child. who is a Thai national, okay? You need a marriage certificate or childbirth certificate. So that means you can only apply for this visa if you have a wife, a husband, that's a spouse in general, or a child who is a Thai national. Then you need an employment certificate. You need spouses or child Thai ID and house registration. And you need the certified true copies of all these documents. Now, finally, for the student visa, here are a list of documentations that you need. I will be elaborating on this category deeply because that is really my focus for this video. So number one, you need your admission letter. Here it is stated a certificate from the Thai educational institution certifying your status or admission certificate. This is basically your admission letter, okay? Number two, you want to attach a sponsorship letter from your parents or lawful guardian. So if you are still a dependent of your parents, it's important that you attach a sponsorship letter from your parents because it is assumed that they will be sponsoring your studies here in Thailand. In most cases, this relates to people who are coming to study first degree like BSc and the likes, or even maybe secondary school. Then you also need your education certificate from your previous school or your university transcript. If you're coming to Thailand to study an MBA or an MSc, then you need to attach transcript from your first degree, your BSc, as well as your degree certificate, okay? Usually it takes a maximum of 7 days from application for the visa to actually get a response. It could take less than 7 days for sure, but a maximum of 7 days if you're applying in person at the embassy. Now, other documentation that are required for education visa includes, number one, we have the original, current, and previous passports. So you need to attach your original, current passport, and if you've had previous passports, you need to also attach them as well. Then you need application form. Okay, this application form is usually going to be emailed to you by the embassy, and if you do not find it, I would leave a link to the application form in the description box. You can simply download it and get it filled. I would also attach a link to this document I'm reading so that you can easily make reference to it for your own personal information. So the second thing on this list here we have is a copy of passport data page and a copy of your previous Thai visa, an immigration stamp on the current and immediate passport, that's if you've had one, an original certificate of police clearance, a copy of drug clearance certificate for Nigerians, a copy of resident permit, introduction letter from applicant's employer. So if you are already employed in your country of residence, then you need to attach an introduction letter from employer. Then you need to attach bank statements, reservation of an accommodation, and finally reservation of a return air ticket. I would be attaching these documents to the description box, so you can simply go and click on it because there are still some useful information that you need to check on these documentations, okay? So you can make sure that you have prepared the right documents. So guys, if you would like to know how to go about getting your NDLEA clearance as well as your police clearance, then go ahead to the description. I have a video linked in there on how you can actually get these documents. And one final note that I feel like is very important, should have mentioned even from the beginning of this video, is the fact that you will most likely be asked to legalize your documents if traveling to Thailand on a student visa. So this is another very important step that you need to get sorted because you don't know how long it will take to get your documents legalized depending on the school that you attended. If you would like information on how to legalize your documents as well from Nigeria, please check the description box as well. I have made a very detailed video on how you can legalize your documents in Nigeria. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video until this point. I hope that this video was helpful to you. I hope it was informative. If you have any more questions regarding this subject, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section and I will respond to them as soon as I can. Until my next video guys, bye.